So I'm here in Będzin, a city in Poland, not far from Krakow and Katowice, and a city with a very interesting history, a city with a very interesting Jewish history. As you can see, it's pretty cold and rainy here today, and Będzin is a place that's really of a lot of interest for a lot of people. A very good friend of mine, Jeffrey Simler, who lives in the United States today, has told me a lot, and I've read a lot of articles about this city. And it was a city that pre-war was very Jewish and had a huge amount of Jewish heritage and history here. Over 50% of the city was Jewish. In 1938, 22,500 Jews lived here, over 50% of the city. And within that, you would have had a lot of prayer houses and synagogues and Jewish centers and mikvahs and ritual baths and all different things. And often, and interestingly, people imagine synagogues as a place big, kind of like what one would imagine of a church. And what happened here was remarkable. During the war, sadly, the majority of the Jews were put into the ghetto here, from there sent to Będzin, and from there often to Auschwitz-Birkenau, where the majority of the Jews of Będzin and neighboring Sosnowiec were taken and murdered, like most of the Jews here in occupied Poland during the war. And this city was also almost completely destroyed. However, in 2003, one of the few survivors came back. And he came back and he went into exactly this place and he was looking around and seeing all these things and he remembered this area. And he walked to this corner, and in this corner of this building was just a shelter, a small place. And he came over here and you can imagine it was completely blocked and entirely different. And he said, I remember this place. And he walked closer and he saw there was a small gap on the wall where a mezuzah would have been. And this was actually put here afterwards. And he asked to come inside. And interestingly, when he came inside, what it was in 2003 was simply a storage for one of the ladies who lived in a building above. A storage full of potatoes and other different things. And the city decided to do something about it. And they started to renovate. And what we found was the most incredible paintings on the walls. All of these were entirely original. All of these paintings from this small, what would have been a prayer. You see, the way it works is that obviously you have synagogues. Synagogues we all know of synagogues. But Jews also pray in what's known as shikha, small little prayers. This one belonged to Mizrahi, to a Jewish Zionist, where you can imagine on Shabbat, which will be tomorrow, Jews would have packed in here, Jews who lived around, rather than walking all the way to the synagogue, perhaps it was cold or whatever it was, would have come in here and prayed together. And remarkably, this is one of the few sites like this that exist almost intact in Poland today. And amazingly, you can still see the descriptions on the walls, and I think it's quite remarkable to think that in a place like this, where this history is almost all but gone, thankful to local activists and to Jews from around the world who are taking care of this heritage, and also to mention themselves who have paid for the maintenance of places like this. What is left is an incredible part of this amazing heritage and history. And it also gives us a glimpse into the psyche of the Jews who lived there. And you can see around the different pictures. This painting, Kevin Rachel, the grave of Rachel, our matriarch, the grave of Hebron today. The other walls, Jaffa, Kevin David, the Kotel of David, the western wall, the grave tomb of David, and over here, Jerusalem. And quite remarkably, when you think today that these Jews who lived in these places, also around you can see the different months with the different animals that represent them, Shvat, month I was born, Tevet, all the different months. On the ceiling you can see the different tribes, the 12 tribes of the Jews. Benjamin, Gad, Yosef, Dan, Issachar, Zebulun, Shimon, Reuven, and Levi. You see the tribes of the Jewish people. And the different symbols for the holidays and the festivals. And for me, it truly is quite remarkable to be in a place like this and have this experience of standing in a site that a few years ago was saved as a result of the fact that a lady used this to store her potatoes and her other items. Saved by mistake. She had no idea what the paintings on the walls were, and she sold it back to the city when they asked. And quite remarkably, we're able to come here these years later and stay in this place which is almost intact, almost exactly as it would have been 18 years ago, where it's almost one, in about 6 hours, Shabbat enters here in Poland. 18 years ago, Jews would have come in here dressed much nicer than I am today to celebrate Shabbat and to honor the Jewish holidays and to pray here together. And to be here is a really beautiful and amazing thing, and to see these signs on the walls, and amazingly, and quite interestingly, and maybe symbolically, most of the paintings survived. One of the few that didn't is Jerusalem. And perhaps symbolically, they would have prayed towards this site. Jews as a people for thousands of years have prayed to Jerusalem. The center, and even though Jerusalem doesn't exist on this wall anymore, it exists for all of us today as the capital of the Jewish people, and a place where we can all go to. And really, for me here, in this incredible place, in this town where there's virtually nothing left. By the middle of the war, 30,000+ Jews were brought to this ghetto, from there to Auschwitz, and to other German Nazi death camps. Very few survived. But this building stands as a memorial and as testimony to these people who believed. And this small building, in this small town, well, please don't stand.